It's an unimaginable loss, the death of a baby. That's why grieving parents helped pass a new Texas law requiring hospitals with maternity wards to have cooling devices, something that could give families up to 3 days together after a baby passes. Investigator Arezow Doost looks closer at how the state health department is working to implement the new requirement. And for people who've lost a child, this story could be emotionally triggering.
This was the onesie that we obviously bought.
Elaine Nguyen remembers the quiet room
This was the swaddle.
and the moment she had to say hello and goodbye all at once.
This is what you leave the hospital with when you lose your baby.
Lando Nguyen was stillborn at 35 weeks in April 2024.
Everything that I imagined doing with my son, it kind of flashed before me, and I just didn't know how I could pour that love into him in that moment. Like, if I only have this couple hours with you, how do I let you know how much you mean to me?
Elaine needed more time. She says she found out later the hospital was equipped with cooling technology, which would have slowed down the natural changes to her baby's body.
It wasn't offered to me, and I don't know if it was a lack of it not being known to nurses that it was available, or if it wasn't trained properly.
Chair lays out House Bill 37.
The state is now making sure no other families are put in that position after a stillbirth or infant loss.
Here in Texas alone, approximately 2,000 babies are stillborn annually.
Representative Mihaela Plisa from North Texas is behind a new law passed requiring hospitals with maternity wards to have cooling devices available to preserve a baby for up to 72 hours. The law also says training must be provided for staff on how to care for grieving families.
We want to make sure that those experiences are treated with respect, with the compassion that they deserve, but that we're not re-traumatizing families. We have created the golden standard for neonatal bereavement care when it comes to losing a child in the nation. So we're hearing from lawmakers all across the nation that want us to know what we did and how we did it.
The state health department tracks infant deaths, which were trending down in the last 4 years. But according to early data and analysis by KXAN, there's been a 7.7% increase since 2021. The data shows the leading causes are birth defects, preterm births, and sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS.
I'm just hoping that we can build on this type of treatment in future legislative sessions. I'm hoping that we can actually, deal with our infant mortality crisis that we're seeing in our state.
The law went into effect in September, and already 2 of the companies which offer the cooling technology, Caring Cradle and Cuddle Cot, are placing more devices at hospitals across Texas.
This would be our full-size Caring Cradle. We wanted to make something that was very simple, plug it in, turn it on, and within a half an hour it's ready to go. This is allowing family to see their baby in the same condition for longer.
Cuddle cots are simply a cooling device. It's just a small machine with a cooling pad that has water that runs through it that can cool an infant when an infant passes. If you don't have a cooling device, then you're either going to lean on ice packs or you're going to have to take the child to the morgue. And to take a baby back and forth from parents, the baby's changing very fast.
These are like the only photos I have really of him.
Elaine says she wishes she had more time to say goodbye to Lando. After her loss, she created the Ever Mother Foundation, a grassroots organization for grieving moms. She's now making sure all hospitals are aware of the new law.
It would have given me a little bit more preservation of him, to take more photos with him and remember him in the way that he came out. And it would have allowed me time to process, potentially even letting my daughter meet him.
Arezow Doost for State of Texas.
The law sets aside $5 million to help hospitals purchase the devices and provide training for staff. So does your hospital have the cooling devices? For details on what Arezow found across Central Texas, head to our website and click on the link in this week's State of Texas story. Thank you again for watching us. I'm Josh Hinkle. We'll be back next week to bring you an in-depth look at Texas politics.